Screen light flickers in a silent room. Clock reads 12:02. The day's done, but the numbers aren't. They're working without me too. I sign my name in a brighter hour. Been steady every line. Now it just wakes when the city sleeps and multiplies what's mine. It doesn't argue, it doesn't fight. It just accrues after midnight. 8 bar after midnight. Growing while I lie still. No alarms, no headlights, just slow mechanical will. 8 bar after midnight. Soft as a shadow tide. Every hour out of sight. Something turning on the inside. It's printed there in careful type. A percentage dressed in calm. Not a threat, not a warning sign. Just arithmetic and palm. Tech to pay felt weightless then. Like the future had no cost. But fractions bloom in the dark of time. Quiet gains from what I lost. It doesn't hurry, it doesn't wait. It keeps its pace at a steady rate. 8 bar after midnight. Working the hidden shift. No sirens in the night. Just a gradual lift. 8 bar after midnight. No villain in disguise. Just numbers with a steady grin. Behind my closed up eyes. Compound, compound, layer on layer. No emotion found. Just silent prayer for next month's check to land in time before the balance starts its climb. It's not the swipe that keeps me up. It's the space between the days, where interest threads itself through ordinary ways. 8 bar after midnight. 8 bar after midnight. 8 bar after midnight. 8 bar after midnight. Breathe it in the dark. Feed it on the daylight. Leaving just a mark. Comes in pale relief. Coffee, quiet, slight disbelief. The numbers change, not by much. Just enough to feel the touch. Screen light flickers. There's a number sitting quietly underneath my name. Not money in my pocket, but it almost feels the same. A ceiling I can lean against, a cushion in the air. A promise that if I reach up, there's always something there. It's not mine, but it's close. It's a line I can approach. Available credit, open sky at night. Looks like freedom, feels like light. Available credit, room to move instead. But every step I've taken it is borrowed thread. I watch it rise when I pay things down. Like clearing space in a crowded town. Elite inside a glowing bar, green and Available credit margin in the frame looks like safety, but it's not the same. Available credit, breathing room above, but breathing borrowed oxygen is different than enough. Limit isn't wealth, capacity isn't gain. It's structured possibility attached to subtle chain. I tell myself it's discipline because I haven't used it, but restraint feels easier when temptation's muted. Green line steady, not yet red. A quiet ceiling overhead. Available credit, open wide and clean, feels like control in a polished screen. Available credit, I hover near the edge, knowing that each step inside becomes a future pledge. It sits there calm, a measured thread, not money earned, but room instead. I close the app and let it rest. Available credit at its best. It's printed small beneath the line, a quiet phrase that feels like mine. Not erased, not reconciled, just postponed and neatly filed. Last month's echo still in play, shifted down with careful grace. Nothing vanished, nothing cured, just transferred and re-endured. I tell myself it's uncontrolled, but it's a shadow and a total balance carried forward from yesterday to now. Not a storm, not a warning, just a subtle bound. Balance carried forward like a low refrain. Every month I clear the stage, it walks back on again. I paid enough to quiet the edge, stood upright on a narrow ledge. The minimum did what it could, kept me feeling mostly good. But beneath the payment line sits the older spine, principle and quiet feet, waiting patiently for me. No drama in the phrase, just memory in a race. Balance carried forward, soft and disciplined. No explosion in the night, just numbers settling in. Balance carried forward, nothing torn apart, just the weight of prior days resting in the chart. It's not a failure, not defeat, just unfinished repeating beat. A rhythm I allow each night right now becomes a right now. I clear a piece, it clears me back, a quiet track of give and let. Balance carried forward across the closing line. Time translated into debt in careful black design. Balance carried forward, no villain, no excuse, just yesterday extended into present use. I scroll past it, then return. There's something steady there to learn. Would I differ? I still move toward balance carried forward. 2% on everything. Sounds like I'm outmaneuvering. Tiny reward for every swipe. Proof that I'm the careful type. Points accumulate like sand in a digital glowing hand. Spend a little, earn a bit. Feels like I'm ahead of it. A little return for what I burn. Cashback mirage, shimmer in the heat. Looks like I'm winning, standing on the street. Cashback mirage, small rebate applause, but I'm spending dollars to harvest the cause. Bonus tiers and quarterly caps, rotating maps and spending traps. Groceries here, gas over there. Shift the card, show I care. I track the categories tight, convince myself I'm doing it right. But the total's bigger than before, even with the reward. $5 gain, 50 exchanged. Cashback mirage, glint in the sun. Feels like profit when the math's not done. Cashback mirage quietly enlarges. Interest doesn't care about my tiny charges. It's clever design, it feels refined. A dopamine line wrapped around spend time. The app says you've earned this much, like I've outsmarted the touch. But what I earned is small and thin compared to what I'm letting in. It's not deception, it's just the spin of calling loss a fractional win. Cashback mirage, heat on the road. Looks like water, but carries no load. Cashback mirage, I squint and applaud, then check the balance and quietly nod. A few more points, a statement credit, a polished way to say I did it. But somewhere deeper in the gauge, it's still a mirage across the page. Compounding quietly, it doesn't knock, it doesn't call, it doesn't echo down the hall. No flashing red, no raised alarm, just something steady, something warm. A decimal in a hidden field, a yield I never meant to yield. I swipe, I nod, I carry on, and somewhere else it's growing strong. No sharp edges, no sudden cry, just small additions passing by. Compounding quietly, layer by layer on me, not loud enough to fear, just constant, always near. Compounding quietly, out of sight perfectly, I barely feel the weight until it recalibrates. A month becomes another month, a shrug becomes a front. The balance shifts by modest sums, nothing breaks, nothing comes undone. It's patient as a winter tree, collecting what I let it be. Each cycle closes like a door and opens slightly more. It doesn't rush, it does. numbers installed. Only answers to the call. Interest on interest, thought on thought, the cost of what convenience bought. A ripple turned a steady tide, no place for it to truly hide. It's not the first charge that stays, it's what remains after the day. There's a window I can't see, but I feel it watching me. 25 days, give or take, a quiet rule I didn't make. If I clear it, I walk free, no extra charge for memory. But if I miss by just a breath, the ghost steps in and signs its name beneath. Calendar squares in black and white, mercy measured by a night. Grace period ghost, hovering close, soft as a thought, hard as a post. If I pay in full, it disappears. If I hesitate, it reappears. Grace period ghost, living where I need it most. Payday lands like fragile rain, already promised, already claimed. Rent and groceries take their part, leaving fractions for my heart. I line the dates up edge to edge, like walking on a narrow ledge. One mistimed step, one weekend lost, and kindness turns into a cost. No warning bell, no flashing sign, just time against another time. Grace period ghost, waiting to host. Interest like ivy cold in the post. If I'm exact, it lets me through. If I drifted quietly a cruise. Grace period ghost, grace period ghost, closer than I ever chose. It isn't cruel, it isn't kind, it's just a boundary in the mind, a threshold drawn in careful ink between what I have and what I think. Freedom with a deadline, air with an edge, a promise in fine print balanced on a ledge. Grace period ghost, thinning or thick, depending on how the numbers click. I chase the zero clean and bright to keep it fading out of sight. Grace period ghost, almost gone, almost. There's a moment, small and clear, When the balance reads sincere, paid in full, the room feels close. And for a while, no ghost. Late fee lullaby. I meant to press it yesterday, before the evening slipped away. One small click, one steady hand, but time dissolved like shifting sand. No thunderclap, no flashing red, just sleepiness inside my head. And somewhere in a server's light, a deadline passed at midnight. It doesn't scold, it doesn't cry, it simply notes that I was late by. Late fee lullaby, soft and dry, $35 saying why. No raised voice, no alibi, just a line beneath July. Late fee lullaby hums as numbers multiply. Pay was almost set. I hovered over it, and yet I thought I'd manage it by hand. Stay in touch, stay in command, but memory bends under load and life spills over code. The system never blinks or sighs, it only timestamp verifies. A one calendar square turned into cost, a simple miss, a quiet loss. Late fee lullaby, calm reply to human drift and oversupply. No emergency, no cry, just a total climbing high. Late fee lullaby, sung by rules that don't comply. Just structure met with unmet, attention thin and margins tight. A day too soon, a night too slight. If I had pressed it 10 minutes more, there'd be no echo at the door. Late fee lullaby, low and plain, a modest, measured kind of pain. I pay it down, I let it lie, fold it into the next reply. Late fee lullaby fades but doesn't. No drama in the aftermath, just a footnote on the path. I close the app, I set the date and try to sing before I'm late. Before I'm late. There's a number glowing in the corner of my phone. Soft blue light says I'm not alone. It didn't hurt when I tapped to pay. It barely felt like money that day. Coffee cable, something small, a dinner I don't recall. Now it's larger in the quiet of my room. with the minimum due. Minimum due, minimum truth. Keep the lights on, keep the roof. $30 buys me time. Interest grows like quiet vines. Minimum due, just enough to say I'm steady, say I'm tough. But every cycle something's new, and none of it is really through. There's a line that says, balance carried like a weight, politely buried. I tell myself I'll clear it soon, after next check, after June. But time is easy to extend, harder to defend. Numbers don't forget my name, they just repeat it in a different frame. I could cut it, I could lose, or I could float another month on the minimum due. Minimum due, minimum peace, temporary, never release. Swipe today and think it's small, feel it later in the fall. Minimum due, staying afloat, water rising at my throat. It's not disaster, not a coup, just slow accumulation through. It's not loud, it doesn't shout, it doesn't kick the door down. It hums beneath the daily sound of steady underground, compounding without a face. Perfect math, no trace of grace. No villain, no excuse, just the cost of diffuse. Minimum due, minimum light keeps me sleeping through the night. But morning shows the fuller view of what the minimum can't undo. Minimum due, buying time, time that isn't really mine. One more month, I make it through, still standing on the minimum due. There's a number glowing in the dark, not a fire, just a spark. I close the app, I dim the blue, and promise more than I can do. The envelope waits on the kitchen chair, white like it's innocent, thin like air. Numbers printed in patient black, no raised voice, just what I lack. I don't curse it, I don't pretend, I open it slow like a letter from a friend. It doesn't shout, it doesn't plead, it just reminds me what I need. I've been building with quiet hands, loose change, dreams and careful plans. Not drowning, just knee deep in the cost of where I've always been. Paid in full someday soon, under a wide and patient moon. No alarms, no red line fear, just a balance finally clear. Not by luck and not by pull, but steady steps until the word do turns into done. And I owe no one. The cart was full, the night was long, convenience hums a soft lit song. Warm in hand, regret by dawn, little comforts linger on. I know the math before it speaks, interest grows in quiet weeks. Still I sit with coffee steaming, price of something paid in full someday, yes. Not in panic, not in guess. One clear line across the page, closing out a form of rage. Not a race, but understood all the ways I did what I could. Someday soon I'll stand and say it's settled. It comes without a trumpet sound, just a quiet badge, a muted crown. Your statement's ready in gentle blue, like it's something I already knew. No envelope against the door, no paper drifting to the floor, just numbers gathered clean and wide, waiting for me to open the slide. 30 days in tidy rows, every yes the ledger knows. The statement arrives, calm and precise, nothing exaggerated, nothing nice. Every coffee, every ride, every small thing justified. The statement arrives and reorganizes my life. The night I tipped too much, the morning rush, the careless touch, a subscription I forgot to kill. Why not? That lingers still. Each charge a photograph of mood, convenient, quick, subdued, not reckless, not extreme, just a pattern in the stream. No shame printed in the light, totals adding over time. A statement arrives, no raised voice, just arithmetic and choice. Balance forward, interest you, a mirror held in digital blue. The statement arrives and quietly reviews my life. It doesn't judge, it doesn't sneer, it only makes the month appear. A map of impulses and need, of small relief and silent speed. I scroll slower than I spend, tracing where the dollars bend. Memory returns in waves from ordinary days. The statement arrives, simple and flat, no drama in that. Just what is and what has been, what I allowed, what slipped in. The statement arrives and that's what I'll revise. I close the tab but keep the view of what I did and what I'll do. It's not disaster, not a surprise, just the month materialized. A 0% illusion. Big bold letters, clean and bright. 0% for a year, no bite. Feels like mercy dressed as math. A softer, easier path. Move the balance, breathe again. Call it strategy, call it zen. No interest humming in the walls. 12 short billing calls. I tell myself, this time I'll win before the clock starts creeping in. 0% illusion, calm before the turn, a temporary truce, I swear I finally learned. 0% illusion, floating on the scene, no interest in the present tense, but waiting in the wings. Fresh account, a polished start, same old total, new chart. The weight is labeled differently, but it still belongs to me. Minimum low, horizon wide, plenty of room to let it ride. The months feel slow and far apart, like I've outpaced the art. No penalty, no visible cost, just time to fix what time has lost. 0% illusion, clean and cool and light. I rearrange the furniture and call it overnight. 0% illusion, silence in the wire, but somewhere in the fine print there's a waiting fire. Deferred is not erased, paused is not undone. Arrayed asleep in place, waiting for its run. 12 pages on a wall, I tear them one by one, and suddenly the year is small and nearly gone. It felt like freedom for a while, like I had beaten the fire. 0% illusion, calendar collapse, all the quiet months behind now, tightening the straps. 0% illusion, shift from calm decline, interest wakes without a sound and makes up for lost time. Bold bright letters fade away, regular rate resumes its say. It wasn't false, it wasn't wrong, just mercy.